We were talking with Lynn Brunelle earlier in the show. She is known as Mama Gone Geek, and she always wows us with science experiments that can teach us all as much as they entertain us. And now she has not one, but two brand new books out. Lynn is back with me now to talk about the books. Congratulations on the books, including this one, which is so fun. It's super cute. It's called Ew Haiku, and it's celebrating, Haiku Ew.
Ew.
Celebrating the disgusting side of nature. Okay, Haiku Ew.
Ew.
All right, so I'm gonna look at this while you talk about some of the ewy things in here.
Haiku is a Japanese tradition, right? And it's really cool because it's 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and 5 syllables, right? So that's kind of fun for kids. And it celebrates, traditional haiku celebrates the beauty of nature. That's the whole thing. So the thing is, there's more than just beauty in nature. Nature can be super gross too, and fascinating.
Would you guys like an example? How about this? Fully formed toadlets pop out of bumps on mother's back, erupting like zits.
It's true. And ew, if you really think about it, Suriname toad birth is gross. Her eggs get smeared on her back. The skin grows over them.
Okay.
They develop under her skin, and when they're ready, fully little formed toadlets, they just erupt out of the mom's back like zits. And so it's like, it's kind of gross, but cool. It works for her.
Okay, one more, okay. Lush sun gold honey brewed from delicate nectar is really bee barf.
It's true. It's true. Okay, so technically, because bees have 2 stomachs, one of them is called a crop, and it's where they store it. But you can't get over the fact that they ingest all this stuff, enzymes are going on, and then when they come back to the hive, they sort of throw up into another bee's mouth, and that goes into their crop. It gets more fermented with the enzymes there, and then bloop, they pass it on. It's like a game of icky telephone, where they spit, and then they finally put it in the honeycomb, and they fan it, and then it's honey, and you put it in your teeth.
And this is what I love about this book, is it's the ew, but the explainer too.
That's the thing.
So my kids are gonna love the ew part, especially my boy, but I'm gonna love the explainer science part. I love this book. It is phenomenal. Okay, Haiku Ew, and you have a wonderful illustrator, Julia Patton.
She's wonderful.
She's beautiful.
Yep.
All right, the second one, hot off the press.
Just yesterday.
Literally hot off the press, is Life After Whale, the amazing ecosystem of a whale fall.
Whale fall.
And that's what we call it when a whale dies and goes to the bottom?
That's what we call it. So it started with a question, which is, what happens when a whale dies? And then it got kind of bigger and more expansive of, the blue whale is the biggest creature ever on the planet.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the dinosaurs ever were. It's the biggest, 90 to 100 feet long, this thing. What happens when it dies and its body falls down, deep down into the abyssal zone where very few creatures can live because the only food is marine snow, which is pretty much dead skin cells and poop, right? Not a lot of life going down there. What happens when enormous Thanksgiving comes and lands on the ground?
Yeah.
It starts an ecosystem. Chemicals are sent out into the water, and so you have the first responders, which eats the flesh, and then you have other ones that come in and chemically extract nutrients from the bones, and it can last for 100 years. Each species kind of dominoing to another one and creating these food webs to create an entire ecosystem that didn't exist before and only exists because of this whale.
This is amazing. I'm trying to, here's one, and it's like when you see it, you're like, whoa. But what I love about this book is it's also an excellent way to talk to kids about death.
Well, yeah, because it starts with a 90-year-old blue whale, and she's making her way up the coast, up to the Arctic, which she has done for 90 years.
Yeah.
And her heart, which is the size of a Volkswagen Bug, has never failed to pump the blood to her whole body.
Yeah.
But on this particular trip, something's different, and her heart slows, and her eyes close, and her thoughts stop, and she dies.
And I love the way you say it in the book. I just saw that, as all living things must do.
Yeah, and so she does, but it's the end of one story, but it's the beginning of this other incredible story that connects and connects, and the nutrients eventually get swept up and then eaten by krill, which are then eaten by blue whales generations in the future.
It's the circle of life.
It is a circle of life.
And you've created an experiment to go with this book, which I think is really cool. So let's do it.
And I also wanted to say Jason Chin, Caldecott winning
winning
illustrator, made this thing amazing. So
beautiful.
I'm going to talk about like when the whale falls, they fall through different layers in the ocean, and all those layers have to do with how the sun reaches down to them.
So
we're
water
gonna
temperature?
It's water temperature, it's sunlight, it's density, it's salt content, it's pressure, and all these things, but there are actually specific layers. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with this one, which is, this is, here, I'm going to let you stir that up.
Okay, I'll stir it.
That is the corn syrup, that's what our starting
rose
point
syrup.
is.
Okay, so we start with corn syrup.
Corn syrup, yep.
And this is going to be
This
our
is going to be
deepest level of the
our
ocean?
deepest level, which is the abyssal zone, the abyss. So we're going to make that super dark.
Like the Mariana Trench deep, or?
It can go, the trench can go deep. Yeah, the trench is, this is the trench. So it's even, it's even
deeper than, okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and let's pour this in here. Let's pour our trench juice in.
Okay. Trench juice. You just made me snort, Lynn.
I heard it.
I adore you. Okay.
All right, so that's our trench water. That is the deepest, deepest, deepest.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, not a lot of things living in that section.
Okay.
Our next section is the abyss zone, which is just above the trenches. And this is just blue
Just light blue.
soap.
Okay.
And because
it's-
of the density, it's going to float on top of that corn syrup, which is particularly dense. And so,
Okay, so you're starting to see the blue changes.
Right. And this is
And you can really see it from here.
Yeah, and then we're going to add a little blue to this just to make it a little bit light blue. This is just water.
Okay. Just a little water. Okay.
It's still dark.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm going to shake that up.
Yeah, and then we're going to use the spoon because we can't, if we pour it too aggressively in there, it's going to,
Okay, so lightly.
yeah, very lightly, it's going to just mix and make suds.
Okay, this is a good thing to know. Sorry. All right, you don't want to make the suds. Thank you. Okay.
Keep pouring. Let's get a good layer.
All right, tell me when to stop. You guys, this is harder than it looks, just FYI. But just remember, we're giving you the details, so don't pour it directly in. It might be easier to do this if you're one person.
It might, but that, you can start to see the layers there.
Look at that, so cool, you guys. Okay, all right, what's next? What's next?
Because it's still, and then we're going to go into the twilight zone, which is oil.
Oil.
And again, we're going to pour it on the spoon so it doesn't shake things up, but it's going to, whoops,
Oop.
we're going to shake things up anyway.
It's okay. Sometimes you have tides in the ocean that mix everything around.
And so there's another layer for you.
Okay.
And then our top layer is going to be rubbing alcohol. Thank you. I was like, I don't have it.
I stole it.
And then I'm going to put just one drop in.
Just one drop. Ooh.
Boop.
Okay.
Maybe two.
Maybe two.
Give it a little bit. And then we're going to pour this on top of that.
This
and
is
then we've
so
got
cool.
our layers. And so most of the life in the ocean is up in this sunlight zone. This is the
Okay.
sunlight zone.
Wow. That is so beautiful, Lynn. Thank you so much for showing us this. Thank you for, teaching us things through fun, through science. But honestly, again, thank you for being such a great teacher for all of us and making science so fun. We adore you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And if you make your own ocean zone at home, send it to us, okay? And by the way, go meet Lynn. If you've ever wanted to meet her, she's having a couple of upcoming book events. On June 18th, she'll be at the Barn, Bainbridge. And then on June 20th at Brick and Mortar Books in Redmond. And that's where you can pick up her books and then meet her and she'll sign it and it'll be so cool. And you'll be happy you did.
Yes.